Going to show you my summer daily makeup that I wear if I'm going to work or go out shopping for the day, just like the everyday thing that I just tend to put on. And I actually wore pretty much every evening on holiday, which was really nice, but it didn't look like over top. You don't really want to wear over top makeup on holiday, it does not look good. So first of all, I'll show you my skincare. So at the minute I'm using the treatment lotion from Crème de la Mer, which is amazing. Honestly, you can see the benefits on your skin just as soon as you start using it. It just feels like bright, like hydrated. I don't know what it is, but it just definitely does do something. I've already done my cleanse and my what I do on a Sunday morning, which is like a face mask, eye mask, all that sort of stuff to get my skin ready for Monday. So now I'm going to go into the skincare. So what I do with this is I normally put on like a drop on every finger like this, and then I just sort of like pat it on my skin like so. And then my cream at the minute is the Charlotte's Tilbury Magic Cream. I think probably every person that is into makeup will have one of these. It is the best skincare for your foundation by far. Even if you're not using Charlotte's Tilbury foundation, for some reason it just seems to sit so much better on it. So I apply sort of like a finger size like this. Obviously use a little thing because you don't want to put your fingers in your cream, and then rub it together, and then yeah, just work it into my skin. It does feel quite heavy, so I mean, I used to have really combination skin, really oily, but obviously as I'm now 22, it's not so much like that anymore. But it's still a little bit combination, but this seems to be a really good sort of hydration base, everything really. But yeah, if you had spots or really oily skin, I wouldn't really suggest this moisturiser. I'd maybe go for like either a sensitive skin moisturiser or oil free, which most of the beauty brands do anyway, so you'd be fine finding one of those. And then finally, this is probably like one of my favourite eye creams. I've had this so long, it seems to last forever. Is the Natura Base Essential Shock Eye and Lip Cream. Feels like you're putting glue on your eyes when it first goes on, and then it just soaks in. But I also put it here because I do get a little bit, when I go in the sun, my top lip goes really dark, and same with my neck, the end of my nose. So maybe it's because I must have burnt myself when I was younger. But I'm almost at the end now, so I think I'm gonna go onto a new eye cream, but have not decided which one yet. I mean, I do like the look of the Charlotte Tilbury one, but I don't know, there's so many out there, it's so hard to choose. I think it'd be better probably to go shopping and see if I could get some samples of stuff. And then the excess, I just sort of rub it across my top lip just to keep it more moisturised, try and get rid of the tan, the super intense tan line, and then just go over my lids. So that is my skincare, so it's quite glowing. And then I'll go on to makeup. So that's all my skincare done. So what I do is I always use primer. Doesn't matter like whether it's just to hold my makeup better or to mattify it or whatever it is. But today I'm going for my MAC Strobe Cream. So I think I haven't really used this since the winter. Normally I use the By Terry Rose Cellular serum, but because I'm so tanned, like I've got quite a good tan at the minute, although my face looks a bit pale, I feel like it's too intense with a more tanned foundation on top. So I thought this is better. Or I also have been using the Urban Decay Pore Primer Potion, but I feel like it's too like on my skin, so I have to wear really moisturising foundation. But this one's good. So what I do for this one is I always use my fingers for a primer really, because you don't really need to use a brush and then get it all over it. So probably put about that size on again, and then just rub it in like I would a moisturiser. But it's so nice. I've got it in the gold light shade, so it's really good in the winter and the summer, especially if you've got a slightly more olive skin tone. Like the silver light was like, wow, bit too much. I guess it'd look really good if you're going on a big night out because you look super illuminated, but this one, because it's got a bit more of a warmer tone, I mean, it doesn't actually like go OTT on you, like you've got luminous everywhere. Just gives your whole face a bit of a lift. And then I go in, this is literally my favourite thing ever, Your Skin But Better CC Cream for full coverage from IT Cosmetics. And I think they only sell this at the minute in Selfridges, which is where I got it, Selfridges in London. And I had been looking at this product for so long online and didn't really know whether it was worth the hype, but 100% is. And they also gave me a concealer sample, which has been insane. but I'm gonna go and buy this because it is that good. It does not move, but does not look heavy. So I use this, just put it on as I would a normal foundation. What's really nice about it is that because it's a CC cream and not a foundation, it feels like, although you get the full coverage, it's like not as intense on your skin. It does not drying, and it does definitely make your skin better. Like, my skin has improved so much since I've been using it. The texture underneath, and I would go out like no makeup on now, whereas before probably didn't feel that confident. So just put it on my Urban Decay buffing foundation brush. But the next foundation brush I get is definitely going to be the IT Cosmetics one, because it is amazing. Just run it down my neck a little bit, so if there is any unevenness over my eyelids, make sure you don't get it too much in the hairline, especially if, well, like me, at the minute I've got like this sort of like, it's called Violet toner on it. It does wash off. I do actually have quite light blonde hair by choice. My hair is dark brown, but yeah, I sort of finished my degree, so I'm on a new haircut, new look, and I thought the violet was going to be a bit fun for the weekend, so I'm looking forward to see what the colour is like underneath once it's washed off. So yeah, as you can see, it's quite, like, my base is very like illuminated, so you'd probably want to use a powder. Unless you had very dry skin, you'd leave it like this, but I need to powder mine down. So then I will go in with either, I've got the Urban Decay powder, which is really good, or I have recently bought this, seen it been hyped as well, the Shapeshifter palette, which is so cool. So it's like this. You open it and it's got this little mirror inside. So these are powders. So you've got 2 contour shades, a setting shade and a highlighter. And on this side you've got cream contouring, so it's fantastic. And then you've got a little mirror in the middle. So when you go away, you probably don't really take much of the powder stuff with you for your face, apart from this, which is good. However, I do wish I'd bought it in the shade 2, not 1, for the summer, and then bought the shade 1 for the winter, because some of the shades are slightly too light for me at the minute, but my tan's not probably going to last that long. So what I do now is I'll go in with one of the corrector shades, which is this one in the middle. So it's like a peachy, pinky, orangey tone. It's really nice tone. It's like got a skin tone to it. So I use the matte concealer brush. I can't remember the exact number of this, but I will link it down below. So I just put that on, and then I'll just tap it all under my eyes to try and correct my darkness, as you saw when I was doing my mask. So this only really goes on my eyes. I wouldn't really need, unless I had a bit of redness around here. I sometimes get it on my chin. So I'd put this on first before I conceal, definitely correct. And because it's such like a light corrector, it doesn't look too heavy if you go over with the concealer on the top. So I will add a teeny bit on my chin, like that. And then what I do is, I'll go in with my Beauty Blender, which is, sorry, it's still a little bit wet, but... And I just blend this in, like so. So it's quite subtle when you go from that side, almost like it smooths out your under eyes without looking like you've completely covered them. So it's quite natural. I guess if I was just going to do a tinted moisturiser day, I was having a home day, I would probably just do this and this corrector. So once I've done that, I then need to conceal. So going in with my IT Cosmetics Barbie Under Eye, which is amazing. Same again with my little brush. I'll just put a teeny bit onto the end, like so. And then I just put it where I need it to. So I'll just work that all under my eye. I mean, I don't over conceal, I'm not a huge concealer girl. I quite like to show all your features. Unless I'm on a night out, then I like to go full on, everything is perfected, which is quite funny. So I've got a couple of spots here, so we need to conceal you bad boys. And then just around my mouth at the minute where it's a little bit dry from the sun, over my lip where I've got that darkness, and then just a bit in the middle of my chin as well where it never tans the same and always goes red, which is a bit weird. And then I'll just go back in with a Beauty Blender and blend all this away, And then by then, my base is pretty much done. Right, so that's now done. And now it is time to, this is where I'm going to set my foundation and all my base. So I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury powder brush. Oh gosh, I've got a little piece of brush hair. Charlotte Tilbury powder brush. Now I actually have two of these because I just think that the bristle on them is so nice. But the difference is, one is for my powder, one is for my contour. So the only way I can tell is, I don't know if you can see it on the video, but oh no you can't. One of them has my name on it, which is Charlotte Grace Batson, which my mum actually got me for Christmas. She got it engraved in Selfridges in London, but then she got me this one as well. I don't think she realised I had two, but it seems to work out really well because they're both really good for different things. So then at the minute I'm using the Shapeshifter palette again, and I'll go in with this shade and just set my under eye. So what I'll do, just press it in. I mean, you don't want to like sweep it around too much because you don't want to start moving all the product again. You just want to sort of like press and set, and it really does smooth out anything under there. So you just press and set. And then I don't powder all my face because it'd be too much, but I just go in pretty much where I had all the concealer on. So just under my chin, around my nose, like that. And then a little bit on my forehead, so it's not too shiny. And then yeah, just make sure everything is smooth. Next, what I'm going to do is, this is sort of like a step 2 forward, but I have to do it to let it dry. So in probably about 3 months ago, 4 months ago, was having the LVL lash treatment, which is absolutely fantastic. And it's sort of a bit weird because you're like, wow, didn't even know I had eyelashes like that. But when I got the first treatment, it came with the Novu Lashes Lash and Brow Conditioning Serum. And honest to God, I swear by this stuff. I put it on my brows and my eyelashes because they're quite thin. I have quite thin hair. And obviously I want to have a nice shape, so it seems to make the hair grow like amazing. So what I do is I will curl my lashes now, then I will put this on, my brows and lashes, leave it to sort of soak into my, both of them, then do all my contour and stuff, and then go onto my eyes. So I just curl my lashes. So these are the Shu Mera lash curlers, which I think are the best. So now my lashes are curled. I then go back in with this. So all you do literally is you just run one layer like you do mascara. Same on the bottom, like so. Do the same on the other side. I mean, you don't have to be exact, it's completely clear, so you're never gonna notice anyway. And then same, quick run through your brows, and it just gives them that lift. So I'll leave that on. So now, what I do is I sort of do like a little bit of a contour. I don't go full out contour, I'm not a massive over fan of it, but just a little bit is nice underneath my bronzer. I like to do it that way around. So this is when I go in with my other Charlotte Tilbury brush, which has not got my name on, and I take both these two shades. I think in the winter I'm probably only going to be this, I won't use this, but at the minute it's nice to sort of mix them both. It gives that nice sort of glow. So just sort of dab one in, dab another in, so you've got a little bit on my brush. And then I just sort of work it under my cheekbone. Add a teeny bit more. And then I just add this lighter shade. Do a little bit here. And then on the other side, just do a little bit there. So you can see the difference. So we've got there to there. So I do the same on the other side. So it's like this, and then I do a teeny bit just under here, and again on the other side. And then what I like to do is I'll sort of press my brush together so it goes a bit thinner, dab into the lighter or darker shade depending on how defined I want my nose to be, and then I go in like just on down the sides of my nose and just rub it underneath, and it just creates a little bit more definition. So it's quite cool because you're sort of making your brush into something you wouldn't really use it for before, but good, because you don't always want to have all your brushes with you. So do that. Now you can see I've got a sculpted nose. And then what I need to do next is I need to just grab my lip balm. So at the minute I'm on the Nux Rive de Miel lip balm. I actually bought all these when I was on holiday last week in Sardinia, and they had it in the little sort of, it's like a perfumery, like a really old school one, but they also had all the Nux Beauty products in there and like these amazing sunglasses from a designer in Rome. So I always put a bit of this on. It does definitely feel like skincare rather than just a moisturising lips. It's not like a normal texture of lip balm, but it's working miracles on my lips, so I tend to do that first. So if you want something that's going to be as good as like the By Terry, but you can't afford it because it is really expensive for a lip balm, then this is your second best option by far. So I leave that on to soak while I do the rest of my face. So then now I go in with my Chanel Kabuki brush. Now I use this with probably all my bronzers because by far it gives you the best look. Like I haven't found a brush that does the same thing. So I'll leave the link down below where you can get this from because they sell out all the time, so they're quite hard to come by. But so I'm going in to bronze today because I'm like quite tanned, so I'm going for my Laura Mercier Matte Radiance Baked Powder in the 3, which is like this, and it is gorgeous. It's so nice. To be honest, you could just use this and not do any of the contouring. So then what I'll do is I'll just get all this, go over. So I've got that really bronze look for the summer, around the sides of my forehead, and then what excess is on the brush, run that down my neck. Right, and then what I go in with next is my blush. So I go between quite a few on my blushes. I do really like blush. I think I'm a bit addicted to buying new ones, which is not good. So I go in with, not a normal blush brush that people would use. This is actually a contour brush, but I love the way it goes onto my cheeks. So I'll leave the link down below. And I'm going with the Bare Minerals Beauty Shade. Oh, honestly, winter or summer, this is an all-rounder. And if you ever go in, they will just say, if you want your standard blush that looks good, go for this. But the only problem is, you've got to remember, you have to close the lid. Otherwise, as you will find if you've had other Bare Minerals products, they go everywhere. So I'll just open up the lid, and then I just tap a teeny bit into my the top. So you've got teeniest amount. It's really strong pigment, so you don't need that much. And then I'll just go around the lid, get a little bit on my brush. Don't need too much, it's quite strong. And then I just smile and I just place it sort of here, and I bring it up to my cheekbone. So I'll just sort of like tap it on underneath, and then I just sort of rub it up a bit because I don't just want it to look artificial, I just want it to look completely natural, like so. Then close the lid. Never forget, your makeup bag will be very sorry if you do. And now I will go in and do my highlight. Now, I've been using 2 highlighters recently, but because I've been away, I wanted to use the Shapeshifter one and not take another one with me. So I go in, I've got another contour brush from MAC, because I don't really like to mix my blush and my highlight brushes. So I go in with my highlight shade, which is the bottom one here. It's like almost like a really nice champagne shade. But I did actually try yesterday with the Shapeshifter. I can actually use, there's a cream one here, and I use my Charlotte Tilbury flat foundation brush, and it's much more subtle. This highlighter is seriously strong. And then do on the other side. Sometimes you can overkill with a highlight. You have to be very careful, as I have found in previous times. Everybody's like, Christ. So yeah, I sort of make like a teeny bit of like a C shape around the edge of my eye. It's sort of, and then I'll just touch a tiny bit down my nose and across my lip. What on to next is I will do my eyes. This palette is so good. The pigment in these is insane. So this is the Yves Saint Laurent Couture Variation palette in number 1 new. And the colours, well, you see how much I've already used it. They're amazing. These shades are beautiful. And then you do have a matte, like creamy custard shade, which I like to put on as my base shade. It's like if I was painting a canvas, I would do my primer. This is my eye primer shade. So I go in with my Charlotte Tilbury blender brush, which is gorgeous, also has my name on. And then I'll just work this all across my eyelid to make it all matte. And then what I do is I actually take the brush that came with the palette. So I'll go in with this and I take this. This is my favourite shade. I think I'm a pink girl. It's like a pearly pink, but looks amazing on. And I will actually put this all over my eyelid because it's that gorgeous. So I literally can touch this into the eye. And then what I do is I take either, now I have 3 choices, depends on my look, or my colour scheme for the day. At the minute, because I have like a pinky purple hair, I'm gonna have to go for this one. However, when I'm wearing like my nude lipstick and stuff, I tend to go for this one, which is slightly more matted. And if I'm doing a really light day look, I'll go for this one, which is like a creamy bronze colour. So I'll go in with the same brush, the one that came in the palette. I will work this right into the crease at the top, slightly bring it out so I've got a little bit of a wing shape, and then work it back in. Oh god. Gonna have to go back in with the Q-tip there, put it all up the side of my eye. I'm just going to take my beauty blender and just rub over where I put it right up the side of my eye. And then I will finish is my eyebrows and my lashes and my lips. So I've found the Chanel brown powder palette, which is beautiful. This is the lighter shade. So I've got like a really light one here and then a slightly deeper one to create the contour. And then I've also got the matching brush for it, which is really good. It's like a, can't see it here, it's like a little angled brush. So I'll leave the link down below. I think I got this from Debenhams. So what I do is I take the lighter shade, get it all on the side of the brush, and I work it here, just at the front, so it's not too heavy. Then I'll go in with the dark shade on the middle bit, and then I'll take it right down here. I mean, it's so subtle, it's almost like I'm shadowing my eyebrows rather than filling them in. So I work it in so like the hairs look almost like they've got volume cream in them rather than they've been drawn in. So I just work that into the end there, and then what I'll do is the other side before I go in with the dark powder. For some reason I always find one side of my eyebrow is, one eyebrow is a lot easier to do than the other. So you can just see it's like got a teeny bit of definition, but it's just never over the top. And this brush is amazing. To be honest, you could probably use this as an eyeliner brush as well, it's that good. And it's so stiff, it would never lose its shape. So I take this right down the back there, so you can see now. I've got a teeny bit of shape, so you can see that arch bit now at the top just stands out so much more. This eyebrow, for some reason, the shape is never as good as my other side. It's weird. Everything down the left side is just off. Everything on the right side is perfect, but can never be perfect. So I just shade this in. And then what I finish with is my mascara, which is the, I don't know what this one is, this one. And it's very black, but I don't know, I just feel like there's so much product goes on the brush, it can get very clumpy and go everywhere, then you end up with a disaster. So now what's so good about putting on that primer is that it's almost like you've primed your eyelash hair. Like if you were going to have your hair blow dried, you would put product in it. Same with your eyelashes or your brows. You've got a primer on, it seems to hold so much better. It looks better, doesn't it? See, it does give a pretty full lash, to be fair, to this brush. But I just find there's just too much product on it. Maybe as I use it more, the product will get less and less and I probably prefer it. But when I first got it, there was just too much on it. I just couldn't apply it. Now the last 2 products, I've literally just found them in MAC probably a week ago. And they are these new like metallic glitter lipsticks. They are so cool. I think as we go into the winter, the darker shades of these are gonna be insane. So the 2 I've picked are called Cold Frost and Love's a Gamble. I'll show you these. So we've got like, it's almost like metallic-y, lilac-y shade. So this I love, particularly if I've got this hair going on. Maybe I should put this on today. However, I need to get a liner for it. And then I've got this is Love's a Gamble. So it's like a poppy baby pink, candy floss with a super high shimmer. This is my favourite. I wore this loads on holiday, and I wear it with my my MAC Good Timing Pro Longwear lip pencil. The colours seem to go really well together. So I line my lips first because you do need it, because it's like the texture's very glittery, so you've got to have a bit of shape first, otherwise it looks a bit weird on your lips. So I'll just go in with my liner, and it doesn't have to be that exact, just, you know, so you got a nice little shape. So you can see I've got a teeny bit of a line. You don't need too much, you just want to have a little bit of definition. Then I go in with this colour. You see that shimmer? There we go. That is my finished summer day look. Let me know what you think about it, if you feel like I could do anything different, or you want me to do you any tutorials specifically on things, or a review on some of the products I've used. Just make a comment down below and subscribe to my YouTube page.